Well, hello there. It's been a while since I have done a TBR planning video or like planning out my month in books because I didn't do one last month. If you are new here, my name is Emma and I make videos, yes, on YouTube about books and stuff and academia and blah blah blah. There's a snowplow. I did not get the chance to make my monthly TBR planning video last month because I was so busy, but December is probably hands down my favorite reading month, so definitely wanted to make sure I got one done this month. So that is what today's video is going to be all about, going through my bookshelves. I kind of have a list already drawn up, so I'll share that with you guys too. We have a couple just one book club pick actually this month, and then I'm currently in the middle of a couple other books that are definitely going to be carried over from the end of November into December, but the goal for this month is definitely just to find the absolute perfect wintry, cozy December Christmas TBR, and I have so many good picks, including these tiny baby bookshelves that I recently got that I'm going to be taking you guys through because I am just obsessed with the books that are on them. So without further ado, let's just begin. This is kind of going to be a vlog style, have sit down, and just an exploratory peruse through what we got going. So yes, grab a cup of tea. I hope you're doing well. I might make a cup of tea in the middle of this video because I'm kind of feeling like another hot drink today. So yeah, it's also snowing, so it's absolutely perfect to film, but let's get into it. Alright, so the book pick for the Dickens versus Tolstoy book club for December is, of course, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. We could not have picked anything else, clearly, but actually for the rest of the years that we're doing this book club, because yes, it's currently spanning 4 years, we have a bunch of other Christmas stories, both by Tolstoy and Dickens lined up, but because Resurrection was for November, which was by Tolstoy, Dickens was our December, so that means we get to read Christmas Carol. This will be my second time reading through this. I don't yet know if I will be on Dickens' side for this debate or if Carolyn will be. We'll just have to figure that out still, but I am so excited. This is a beautiful edition that has a couple other Christmas stories by Dickens in it that I have not yet read, but that I'm going to be saving for the debate when we get to those. But if you've never heard of A Christmas Carol, I believe this was published in 1843, and we follow a man, Scrooge, who is very greedy. He doesn't treat people very kindly. He's had some tragedies in his life, and he gets visited by ghosts who take him on a journey through his life. So I am so excited to be reading this. I'm just so looking forward to it. It's gonna be such a nice, sweet little journey. I'm probably gonna annotate it, and I just cannot wait to get back into this. If you are looking for something cozy, beautiful, obviously perfect for Christmas, definitely pick this up. And if you're reading this along with us for the Dickens versus Tolstoy, then the live show will be at the end of December. I think we're gonna try to hold it before Christmas on my channel, so we'll let you know about that too. But yeah. And then just to mention the two couple books I currently have on the go, because I'm loving both of them and I'm definitely going to be continuing to get through them in December. And it's actually currently snowing. It's just been such a perfect snowy day. It's been the snowiest day of the season so far, and I am so happy. I'm so happy. This is not a wintry book at all, but my audiobook came in again for Dune, and I just could not ignore it like a fifth time. So I decided to just pick it up, see how far of it I could get through in November, and then just finish it in December. So as of right now, I'm 132 pages through. Really thoroughly enjoying this. I'm sure everyone has been hearing about this recently. That's how I heard about it, because I'd never heard about it before actually, but it's a very famous sci-fi. It may look a little bit intimidating and dense. I think it's almost 900 pages. Essentially, we are following the Atreides family and their son, their 15-year-old son named Paul. They have just moved from like their kind of home base, their planet of Caladan, to the planet of Arrakis, or the planet known as Dune, which is a very desert, dry planet where water is a very valuable resource, clearly. And there's been so much intrigue and just so much plot and like politics so far. I'm really liking it. My edition comes with like terminology and appendices, so if there's something you're not sure of, it's been really helpful to just literally flip to the back and look it up, because there's a lot of cool language, a lot of cool sci-fi stuff in here, and I would honestly recommend. I think it's very accessible, very easy to get into, and I'm really liking it so far. Like, I'm really enjoying it. So I will definitely be finishing this one hopefully soon. I kind of want to see if I can finish it in November, but I really don't think so. So I've been listening to this really slowly as well, and I would recommend the audiobook if you have been like hesitant hesitating getting into this if you've been intimidated, because it's a full cast audiobook. The acting is amazing, and as well they have like sounds, music, like sound effects for stuff, and it's just a really, really good, worthwhile production. So I'm very happy that I'm reading that. So that is the second book. I want to make a pile of my December TBR books, like somewhere. Maybe we can even do it like under the Christmas tree, because that would be cute since my tree is up. So maybe we can just start our little pile right here. Okay, and then the last book I was currently reading, and that I'm gonna be finishing in December, hopefully, it was out in the front room, is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. I'm loving this book. As you can imagine, it's a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. We have a kingdom in this fantasy world called Valleydon, which borders on the Wilderwood, which is the forest. And the forest is like alive, and centuries ago the forest is said to have eaten or just taken the 5 kings who were ruling over the kingdom, and who everyone kind of looked to as gods and worshipped, essentially. And so every time a second daughter is born to the kingdom of Valleydon, the second daughter is always sacrificed to the Wilderwood to appease the wolf, who is said to live inside the Wilderwood, who is apparently holding these kings/gods captive. And so we follow Red, or Redaris, who is the second daughter, when the story is unfolding. And so she goes into the woods to hopefully appease the wolf and bring back the gods that have been taken or are being held captive in the woods. I am loving this so far. I'm 82 pages through, and I'm just, I'm really falling in love with it. It's been a while since I've gotten into like a wintry fantasy, and that's what I'm like so looking forward to this month. So that is For the Wolf. So good so far. Very happy that this is on my TBR. And this one, I think I first heard, where did I hear about this? I think I heard about this from Jody at Vanilla Moon. So yes, that is that one. So I have my cup of tea, and now we are ready to make the agonizing decision of like picking which books to actually go on the TBR. So I have my reading journal, which I'm really sad because this is the last month I'm going to be using it, but Stella, who makes these beautiful journals, sent me her one for 2022, which I'm very happy about. So if we flip to December, I actually did have an entire like list planned out of the books I wanted to read in November, December, and January. So I'm really quickly gonna go through and check off the ones that I wrote down that I got to in November. I did have For the Wolf written down for November, but that's totally fine to just drag it into December. So for December, I do have a little list I created here. We're gonna start with the little bookshelf that I made because I recently, can you see it from here? No. You can't. But I recently got a couple of floating shelves that I just wanted to use for like books that were either seasonal or I was planning on picking up soon, because it's very like motivating, and as well it just looked really beautiful. So I put my most Christmassy winter books on there, and then I kind of organized them into the months that I wanted to read them based on their wintry, icy, Christmassy level. So let's go through those. All right, here are the two little shelves. I just love how they look. They're like right in this little corner beside my bed, but I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books on here, and then I already read Snow and Rose in November, loved it, and I'm currently reading For the Wolf, which was right here. So first one I'm gonna pick off of here to put on my December TBR is gonna be The Enchanted Sonata. I've been waiting to read The Enchanted Sonata for years. Heather Dixon actually wrote one of my favorite young adult books, which is Entwined, which is another retelling, because as you can imagine, The Enchanted Sonata is a retelling of The Nutcracker. It says Claire has her future perfectly planned, marry the handsome pianist, and settle down to a life full of music, but all of that changes when Clara receives a mysterious and magical nutcracker. Whisked away to his world, an enchanted empire, beautiful palaces, fickle fairies, enormous rats, and a prince, Clara must face a magician who uses music as magic, and the future she thought she wanted. I cannot wait. I love all things Nutcracker, like, so much. And Heather Dixon's writing, from what I remember, is just so magical, so beautiful. I love the descriptions, and this just sounds extremely cozy. Like, I cannot wait to get into this one. Okay, I'm trying to organize in a way that, like, as I read them, they'll, like, progressively get closer and closer to Christmas and be more Christmassy. So I think I'm gonna pull both of these down, actually. One of them is gonna be a reread, and I'm trying not to get way too excited about these two, but I love this book more than life. So let me just see, because I think this one has Christmas in it, but I know it mostly centers around New Year's, so let me just double check that. And then this one is one of my most recent purchases. Outside right now, it just has that, like, very, like, crisp, high definition winter lighting, if you know what I mean. Everything is just so, like, sharp and in focus. It feels like you're, like, seeing the world in HD. Like, it's just, I just love it. I love winter twilight lighting. It's just unmatched. So this first one, actually, okay, let me tell you about this one first. So this is Midnight in Everwood. Absolutely gorgeous cover. By M.A. by M.A. Kuzniar. I'd never heard of this until I went to the bookstore and just saw it on the shelf and was absolutely drawn in by its gorgeous winter cover. Like, it's just so pretty. Something about ballet and winter and the Nutcracker. I don't know. That's like my thing. I love it. This one is set in Nottingham, 1906. Marietta Stell longs to be a ballerina, but as Christmas draws nearer, her dancing days are numbered. When a mysterious toy maker, Dr. Drosselmeyer, purchases a neighboring townhouse, it heralds the arrival of magic and wonder in her life. She constructs an elaborate theatrical set for her final ballet performance. She discovers that it carries a magic all of its own, and then it's kind of like, it's more of a darker tale, I think, because Drosselmeyer's place is full of, like, this very dark, twisty magic. As the clock chimes midnight, Marietta finds herself walking through a land of snow-topped fir trees leading to a frozen sugar palace, silent with secrets. And I think she gets, like, trapped there in Everwood, I'm assuming, which is what the place is called. But so this one does encapsulate, I believe, Christmas and New Year's. And then A Castle in the Clouds. I read this last year, and I actually asked for it for Christmas last year. My parents gave it to me for Christmas, and I've been waiting all year to reread it in December. I think this one is more the lead up to New Year, if I remember, and then the last day in this book is, like, New Year's Day, and it's all about the lead up at this Swiss hotel in the Alps to New Year's Day, because Sophie goes to work at the Castle in the Clouds, which is the hotel, as an intern, and she essentially just gets relegated to babysitting these very rich kids who are the guests. No, okay, Christmas is in here too. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to Midnight in Everwood, but I'm gonna put it on this TBR anyway, and then this one is definitely gonna be priority because I've been wanting to reread it all year. So I'm gonna also slap these two on the pile from our seasonal shelves. My door is frozen. Oh my god, I think there's a little ice stuck in the tray. Oh my god, there we go. Yes! Oh, it's so fresh. I love winter twilight. Oh my gosh. And look, we got so much snow. So much snow on the balcony. How are you doing, Mr. Bonsai? You look so pretty with all your little snow crystals. You are doing amazing. It was frosty out there. All right, I'm gonna mention a couple of audiobooks that I would be definitely very remiss if I did not include in this TBR. One of them is one of the ones it's like an optional one in the Dickens versus Tolstoy book club, because it's not by Tolstoy or by Dickens, but Carolyn and I are both going to be buddy reading it in December together, and since it does pertain to one Charles Dickens, we thought that we would just extend the invitation to also read the book with us, kind of for the book club, so let me grab it. And that book is Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Silva. This is actually a gift from a subscriber. I had no idea this existed until it was in my P.O. box, so thank you so much. And as you can imagine, this is all about Charles Dickens struggling to write A Christmas Carol because he's kind of like his own Scrooge figure, actually, in the time before he starts writing A Christmas Carol. He's kind of out of inspiration. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He's having really outrageous writer's block, and so he starts to wander the streets of Victorian London in search of inspiration because he is not feeling the Christmas spirit. When his publishers try to blackmail him into writing a Christmas book, he refuses. But then he meets the mysterious Eleanor Lovejoy, who might just be the muse he needs. Eleanor propels him on a Scrooge-like journey that tests everything he believes. I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. I think Carolyn and I have plans to watch the movie together as well because, oh no, it's not. What movie is it that's about Charles Dickens? The Man Who Invented Christmas, right? So it's not the movie based on this, but we're also going to watch that movie about Dickens. So yeah, that is this guy. I'm very, very excited. So this is an audiobook I'm going to be listening to for sure. Another one I have written down here to listen or try for Christmas is called Christmas at the Island Hotel by Jenny Colgan. I saw this one in Chapters when I went book shopping, and I almost bought it, but then I saw that it was available on Libby, so I decided to just put it back and listen to it via audiobook instead. This one centers around another hotel, which is of course why I wanted to read it, because I love books that center around hotels, especially hotels and the winter season. And I think this follows one main character, but we have a whole series of people at this island hotel. I believe there's some romance, some intrigue, just some family Christmas fun things. So I'm gonna try this out. I feel like I've tried to read a Jenny Colgan book before and it was just way too cheesy and like not my style, so I'm just gonna try and see. I also have Hercule Poirot's Christmas, I think it's called. It is a murder mystery, Poirot in the series by Agatha Christie, that centers around something vaguely Christmassy. For this one, I am planning to do another video similar to what I did with the murder of Roger Ackroyd, which I'm really excited about because then it'll be like a Christmas themed detective mystery, which I'm really excited to share with you guys too. So those are the audiobooks I currently have in, but I have like pretty much all of December off of uni, which is a blessing. So I think I'm gonna add even more books to this TBR because I think honestly I can do it. I might even do my own little readathon or something. So I'm gonna pop these two on the pile and let's comb through the shelves some more. Okay, so here are the shelves. Here how they're looking. I'm gonna really quickly, oh, even the sound of like cars crunching on the ice is so nice. I'm just really quickly gonna go through here and see if there's anything I just want to take out and put on my Christmas shelf. Jane Austen. Dickens to me is very Christmassy as well, just like his regular books. I don't know, I have been reading a lot of classics both this year and recently for uni, and I just don't know if I'm really like totally in the mood to read that many more. But let's see if there's any vaguely wintry things. I kind of want to read Snow Country again, but I'm gonna hold myself back. I kind of want to read Chess very soon, or anything else by Stefan Zweig. Please tell me how to say it. Because one of my favorite movies that I discovered this year is The Grand Budapest Hotel, which I'm definitely probably going to rewatch in December because it's also very snowy. But a lot of that movie is inspired by this author's work and life. Not Chess specifically, but I think there is a couple other books by him, so maybe I'll check those out. Ooh, yes, I am actually reading a Rilke work this month because I'm going to be buddy reading it with a few of my friends, actually, a lot of us, and we're going to be reading the Book of Hours. So I am going to take this one down because I haven't yet started this. I'm reading this with Lucy, Carolyn, and Mary, so very excited. So this is going to go on the pile. And then just let's do one more little look through. I definitely would like to expand my collection of winter books. I always love fantasy for this time of year as well. And I did just see Libby did just get in The Eye of the World. And I really, really want to get to this. I feel like winter's also the perfect time to tackle big fantasy books, so this may or may not be gotten to, I don't know. I'm gonna put this on. I think I just want to read this. I recently got this book, Everyone's Aliabin When You're at Aliabin 2, and I definitely think I could read it. This is so ambitious. So this is getting a little out of control. Yep. Here's the order I'm gonna read them in. First of all, Dune. We're gonna finish Dune. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna work on reading as much of this or listening as much as I can in November because I really want to watch the movie ASAP. And then I'm literally, as soon as I finish this video, gonna sit down and have a little reading session with For the Wolf because this is the one I'm currently going through, and like there's no Christmas vibes in here. It's just like wintry snow, a little bit of gothic, a little bit of horror, a little bit spooky, so it's really, really good. But I do want to get this done and just find out what happens. And then I'm gonna pick up A Christmas Carol and just try to make this last like as long as possible until the live show so I can have all of my thoughts clear. I'm probably gonna start Rilke's Book of Hours soon. This is gonna be a reread, but very excited for this, so that's that. The first one, I think after I finish For the Wolf, I'm gonna pick up the Enchanted Sonata because I've been waiting so long to get to this, so definitely this one after For the Wolf. And then I have a feeling I might not get to this, but we'll put it on anyway. And then this is kind of the last Christmas book I want to read physically because last time I listened to the audiobook and it was just so good. And then these two will just try to fit in wherever along with the audiobooks I mentioned. So that is my December TBR, I think. Hopefully. I think that is going to be the video for today. It is 5 o'clock and I want to get outside in the cold because I just love it so much. So yes, let me know what you're reading as well. Give me like cute little lists of what you're picking up in the winter or just wherever, just whatever it is like where you are. But until then, I will see you very soon with a new video. So I hope you're keeping well and I cannot wait to make all of the winter content because I just love winter so much. I'm just in love with the snow. So until then, I will see you very soon. Ciao.